Hello, everyone. It is Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and it is Memorial Day. It is nightly Newsy News. And in Mo House updates, youngest Most Feral has successfully pestered every single person in the family to the point that, like Garfield, they would like to send him like normal to Abu Dhabi. And it's only the first full week of school break, so he has hit a new pestery, uh, achievement level, you know, 1 up this year. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing the Modly Mod stuff. Phoenix, good evening. My mama, hello. D. Robertson, welcome. Yes, he has officially, you know, my oldest children are like, "Did we really need a brother?" And, uh, Flash fan, I am doing okay. I hope you're doing well. We have some updates, some weird stories, and as always, things I look on the internet and I'm like, that can't be a headline. But our first story seems to give a little more insight to the gentleman who is oddly enough, not David Lee Roth impersonator, but the gentleman who is alleged to have gone on the mass stabbing spree, Jared Ravza, seen in pictures with lip gloss nail polish as court documents confirm a name change. Again, if this is not David Lee Roth's love child, look, I don't know where Dee Snider was either, but we might need to get a Twisted Sister, DNA test. The Massachusetts knifeman accused of stabbing 6 people, including 3 children, and suspected of killing another appears to have been in the process of changing their identity. Jared, Ravza, 26, swapped shirtless selfies showing off a gym toned torso as recently as September for 2023 for ones wearing lip gloss, face glitter, and nails painted pink. Uh, Jared also describes themselves as she on Instagram, and court documents obtained by the Post show paperwork was filed for a legal name change from Jared Christian Ravza Jones to Jared Love Jones last month. I Okay, but if you're presenting as a female, Jared is still a fairly male name. Y'all, I don't know. I am already confused. So it appears that this person is an artist of some sort. Again, y'all, I don't know fashion, so maybe this is what the new tweens are wearing. I no idea. In the application, Jared wrote the reason was honoring my beloved grandmother, Priscilla Jones, and honoring the creative balance and magical beauty of my entire Jones family lineage on their maternal side. Jared also asked the name change not be made public because this has been a deeply personal journey for me. And the papers dated April 8th. The request was granted and signed off on by a judge the following day. Jared is being investigated over a murder in Connecticut after police officers found a body in a tiny town of Deep River around 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, according to Boston 25 News. The identity of the victim has not been revealed. So, I mean, you know, again, I mean, this is a terrible thing, but if that was not David Lee Roth or any of Twisted Sister's children, y'all, I'm just saying. Although he does kind of also look like Wild Bill when he's saying goodbye horses. I may have watched that movie way too much. Yeah, hopefully it's not the grandmother hopefully he didn't unalive the grandma to oh, I well, from I got no idea if he's, like, changing his name because of the color of the season gives him inspiration. Y'all, like I tell my girls, like I tell everyone, 87% of people just want to be kind and respectful, but we do not have the time to do the algebra, trigonometry, and quantum physics of your uniqueness. So please just throw us a bone. But we're I basically for nearly 40 years used grammar as a somewhat outlaw, but this thing is killing the English language. I mean, it looks insane. Jared is then accused of laughing as he unfortunately stabbed and attacked three little girls ages 9 through 17 as they watched the movie If at a theater outside Boston, then attacking two other people at a McDonald's, according to cops. None of the victims' injuries were life threatening, and they were treated at the hospital, according to local reports. The alleged attacker's Instagram page shows dozens of images and videos where they are wearing large sunglasses and posing in a model-esque fashion, displaying artwork. In some of the images, Jared poses with a black Porsche, which appears to be the same one crashed in a police pursuit following the stabbing frenzy over the weekend. One video posted just 2 weeks ago shows Jared walking up to the car and creepily looking back at the camera. I mean, he does have some Kubrick looks going on here. On April 5th, Jared posted a series of pictures with artworks and a pipe for smoking and a dollar bill, as we all do. Y'all, maybe, just maybe, Pepperidge Farm remembers, Bartles and James remembers, but could we please stop putting our entire life up into and including bowel movements on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? You know what? I found that we liked each other a lot more when we didn't know everyone's hot takes because on Twitter, everyone's a genius or a twittiot. I haven't decided which. I am mostly a twittiot because I barely even know how to work X, to be very honest. 5 days later, Jared posted a photo of a pointing to a hand-drawn picture and of their new name surrounded by pink hearts on his Instagram page because they're using his and their and oh, for the love of all that is holiness. The Plymouth County District Attorney said Sunday that Jared is facing counts of assault with intent to murder, 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon after the attack on the girls at the Braintree AMC and then the attack on two employees at a Plymouth McDonald's an hour away. Jared has yet to enter a plea. Describing the first track, Braintree Police Department said without saying anything and without any warning, he suddenly attacked and stabbed the four young females. True, true. Well, Jason, I'm more just like, oh my gosh, that's I I so hope that you are healing well, but I can tell you that I'm kind of you're very lucky I wasn't there because you would have had to help me uh up off the floor because I don't do well with blood at all. The attack appeared unprovoked. After the attack, the man ran out of the theater and left in a vehicle. A movie theater concessions worker described the suspect as wearing, quote, an oversized trench coat, glasses, and a long blonde wig. Oh, well, according to local media reports and Jared's Instagram page, their long flowing hair is real and not a wig. Well, true. Yeah, of all the things, he's probably gonna be the most pissed off that someone said it was a wig and not his own real hair, for the love of all that is flapjacks. Y'all, I don't even know. I don't know. Gonna move right past that one, cause yeah, you know, I'm not saying I profile people, but if I see you and you're a relatively young man, you look fairly pissed off at the world, and you have a trench coat, As a kid from, the early 2000s, with all of the crazy neo and crow, you know, fashion that there was, I am walking the hell the other way. If I see you in a trench coat, look, I'm not saying when I'm president, we're gonna start profiling trench coats, but if you don't look like effing Tech Walker, Texas Ranger, then put down the trench coat and leave it alone. Just leave it. If your name isn't Walker, Texas Ranger, oh my goodness, I crack me up, which is probably not really good. So then Jared fled in a Porsche SUV and drove over. The youngest, most feral is like, I'm telling on someone. Like, is it life-threatening? No. Okay, then can it wait? I don't know, I was just gonna tell on someone. According to the DA's office, surveillance video shows Jared reaching through the fast food chain's drive-through window and stabbing a 28-year-old male employee with a large knife. So this is on the McDonald's on Route 3. Officials say Jared then parked his black Porsche, went inside the McDonald's, and stabbed a second employee, a 21-year-old woman. Both victims suffered non life threatening injuries and were taken to the hospital nearby. Now, before this, apparently this gentleman looked like, well, like this. Y'all, did he watch like one too many videos with yuppie Michael Fox? Because this is all of the Miami Vice. Why are they making male capri pants? I need an answer to this because this is some BS. I do not deal with male capri pants. That's what turned him to the dark side. Jared then allegedly fled the plaza, eventually totaling the car in a fiery crash on Cotuit Road in Sandwich. Jared was taken into custody shortly afterward and is being treated at a hospital for non life threatening injuries. The suspect is due to be arraigned in Plymouth District County Court Tuesday. No, they're just illegal. When I'm president, no, just illegal. In a better, more heartwarming story, a Missouri fifth grader decided to start a fundraiser, I guess, to pay off his entire school's meal debt. So sometimes, you can kind of charge your account to so much. But what an interesting and cool thing to do. Kids can now eat without breaking the piggy bank, at least at Thomas Utilican elementary school, thanks to fifth grader Dakin Kramer. Dakin paid off the entire meal debt and then some for his elementary school in Blue Springs, Missouri, after turning in a check for more than $7,300. Dakin's original goal was $3,500, which was just over the total school's debt. According to Dakin's mother, Vanessa Kramer, the remaining amount was given to the Blue Springs High School and another school in the district. Quote, children in elementary school should not have debt tied to their name. We found out that there were high schools that keep seniors from attending prom or walking graduation if they have stuff like student lunch debt, Kramer said. Some families can't help it, they can't pay it off. In a video shared to his mom's Facebook, Dakin challenged friends, family, and local businesses to donate what they could to this cause. Upon Dakin's request, Kramer reached out to Blue Springs School District to get information about the school's meal debt. Soon, the online fundraiser was spreading to states like Texas, Florida, New Jersey, and within a matter of 2 weeks, Dakin's fundraiser more than doubled his goal. As of Dakin's fifth grade graduation on Tuesday, the Dakin Kramer Legacy Award will now be an honor for fifth graders striving to make their own mark. Quote, your selfless actions will impact dozens of students throughout the district. Christy Haley, Dakin's teacher, said as she announced the award in his name. It's not the amount of money you raised, although that was absolutely incredible. It's your heart, your drive, your determination, and your grit to help others that inspires us. Dakin said the award took him aback. I was It was definitely a surprise. I had no idea they were going to do that, he said, and I definitely started to feel a lot of emotions. A lunch for an elementary schooler in the Blue Springs School District is $2.55, with the reduced price being 40 cents for students in need, according to the district. About 29% of the roughly 15,000 students enrolled in the Blue Spring School District are eligible for free or reduced lunch. District spokesperson Katie Wolf told CNN Thursday. While Dakin's fundraiser cleared his school's meal debt, the Blue Springs School District meal debt totals to more than $235,000. According to Wolf, the district includes 20 schools at various levels. The School Nutrition Association reported among school districts represented by their members, about one-fifth of U.S. school districts nationwide, their meal debts range from $10 to approximately $1 million. According to the school nutrition directors who are members of the organization and who respond to the association's 2024 survey, the association collected this data as part of their lobbying effort to try to get more funding for school meal programs. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with, again, sending more money to stuff. Every time your school district, wants to raise property taxes to fund things and teachers can't afford stuff, 85% of that money goes to administrators. Administrators at the top of the school have, seen meteoric uh, raises in their wages because of this stuff. Barely any of it gets sent down to the teachers or to help the students. So when I'm president, before we send a gajillion dollars to some bureaucracies, I want to see where all of this money is going. Again, we are paying some of the highest prices to educate each and every student in this country. I believe Baltimore is the highest with, I wanna say $32,000 per student. I could be wrong, but it's astronomical. But we are not getting any better education. In fact, most public schools are now making it to where if you don't turn something in, the lowest grade you can get is a 50% because they don't want, to show, "This is my tinfoil hat, so give me a minute." But the 2 years that our children were out of school, isolated, left alone, dealing with anxiety and depression, and not really learning the basics of socialization or speech, that has set our children back so much that in order to, again, this is tinfoily, but in order to make numbers look good, they are just passing students and doing these new grades where no one really gets an F. But it's just dumb. It's dumb, and I wish that teachers' unions would admit the immense amount of harm that we did shutting down. But that's my soapbox, I'll get out. In November 2023, the median reported district meal debt was about $5,495 among districts represented by members who responded to the survey, which was up from about $5,164 the previous year, according to the association. Hoping to bring a wider attention to the issue of school meal debt, Kramer says she and Dakin are now working with a Missouri state representative to see if they can take their efforts to the next level. Seeing the droves of people who reached out to support. Oh my gosh. My son, my youngest, most feral, had a birthday, and he's been waiting for this RC car that you can work with your hands. I don't know. It's about the loudest thing. Give me 1 second. Youngest, most feral is like, maybe their kids want some. Maybe, maybe they wanna hear how loud my thing this is the micro fan, the shorthand fan, if you will, because oh dear Lord, but yeah, he got this car thingy that you can work with your I don't even know, it's just the loudest thing known to humankind. Had I known that, I wouldn't have bought it. Uh, let's see here. Seeing the drove of people who reached out to support showed Kramer how one person can make a difference. She said, even though this is something that kids don't need to worry about and don't have responsibility for, I'm very proud as his mom that he is mature enough to see that there is an issue. And if people who have the power to make it change won't change anything, then he will step up and make a change, she said. Dakin, whose favorite school lunch is orange chicken and rice bowl, said kids don't have to do extraordinary things to be the next recipient of the Dakin Kramer Legacy Award. Quote, they don't really need to do anything big to get the award, Dakin said. It's only if they really care about it and they're really, really compassionate about helping the school. This is good. I like it when I have good things to report because most of the time I don't. In well, FAFO, the employee who doxed Kansas City Chiefs players Harrison Butker's was addressed was fired from the city government. Now, y'all, I have listened to his speech, and I am failing to see what the issue is. I think that okay, maybe some people, and I'm not experienced this all um very much, but some very Shiite feminists really dislike the fact that some women will choose to just be at home. And I think that we should support women no matter what they want to do. But, you know, it seems to be that when you choose some things, people get really, really irritated with you. Kansas City has fired the employee responsible for posting personal information about Kansas City Chief kicker Harrison Butker on the city's official X account. The incident followed Butker's remarks at a commencement ceremony for a Catholic university, which resulted in significant backlash from those who disagree with the NFL players' Catholic values. Weird. It's like a guy that's really, really Catholic goes to a Catholic college to say really Catholic things. I don't know. JKD Buck, I can one up you there. So my youngest daughter, she is like the coolest chick daughter I have, but she was in love with Godzilla. In love. And if you've seen the more recent MonsterVerse kind of movies. The first Godzilla that came back with what's his face from Breaking Bad. Well, the bad monsters look somewhat like cockroaches. So my about 4-year-old daughter was just like, you know what, mommy, I hate those sea monsters. So think cockroaches and monsters. So I had to call her father and I was like, just a heads up. We had this talk with, youngest daughter, but you can't mix those two words together because we're not watching really weird stuff. So yes, she called them sea monsters. and she didn't like him, and I was like, "No one really does." Oh, for the love of goodness. Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas confirmed the firing on KCMO Talk Radio on Thursday. The city has separated from the employee who was responsible for the message, Lucas explained, according to the Daily Mail. I think that to me, in many ways, resolves the back and forth that's in the political world. I think there's been accountability from the city of Kansas City, and we look forward to moving on and letting the Chiefs play. The controversy began after Bucker's comments at the graduation ceremony of Benedictine College, a Catholic institution, where he emphasized traditional Catholic values regarding gender roles and the importance of raising children. I mean, yep, that's exactly what she said, JKD Buck. And I just 90% of my brain, as always, was laughing hysterically on the ground and unable to render aid in these adulting situations. So I'm glad that that 10% that generally just sits back and adults for me is there because like I said, 95% was or 90%. Anywho, so basically he made these comments and everyone is ticked off. So the official Kansas City X account posted the city where Bucker resides, which many saw as an attempt to dox him. The post was quickly deleted and followed by an apology from the city. Quote, it was not appropriate to post for the city of Kansas City. It should never have been up, Mayor Lucas added in response. At the time of the initial post, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey condemned the retaliation and stated that his office would investigate the matter to ensure accountability. My office is demanding accountability after Kansas City doxed Harrison Bucker last night for daring to express his religious beliefs. Okay, let's not bloviate on both sides. Look, they kind of said like he basically the post from Kansas City was like, "Hey, y'all, look, he lives in the hoity-toity part of Kansas City. He don't go here." You know, the Mean Girls thing, like, she doesn't even go here. That's the kind of thing that they did post. So, yes, it was inappropriate. Yes, that person should have been fired if it went against that might have been going in my head as a rejoinder, but I did not say it. God bless that 10% of my brain that still functions when I'm laughing my inner boobs off. Just God bless that 10%. But I don't think that the attorney general needs to go all, Duke Nukem, if you will. There has to be a happy medium between insanity and unsanity, but who knows? In well, I mean, this is a new thing, but I think I could be quite good at it. Chasing cheese wheel or lugging sacks of wool, UK competitors embrace quirky extreme races. Okay. I mean, I am known to fall upstairs, so I think I'd be great at falling down stairs. Dairy loving daredevils threw caution to the wind Monday for one of Britain's most extreme annual events, cheese rolling. Cheered by several thousand spectators, scores of reckless racers chased a 7 pound or 3 kilogram wheel of double Gloucester cheese down a near vertical Cooper Hill near Gloucester. Gloucester? Look, I know, I did not know there was a cheese race. Give me a baguette race and I am going to be faster than Usain Bolt, okay? It's like there's a bagel at the end, a good one. The first racer to finish behind the fast rolling cheese in each race gets to keep it. The races have been held at Cooper's Hill, about 100 miles or 160 kilometers west of London, since at least 1826. The sport of cheese rolling is believed to be much older. The rough and tumble event often comes with safety concerns. Few competitors manage to stay on their feet all the way down the 200-yard hill. This year's hill was especially slippery and muddy after recent rain. Members of a local rugby club lined up at the bottom to catch tumbling competitors. Always a good thing. Like, hey, we we're just here to be the human shield, the 875th line of defense past lack a dentist. I don't know. Winners of the three men's races included local man Josh Shepard, as well as competitors from Germany and Australia. Abby Lamp from North Carolina won the women's race with a lightning fast roll that left the rest of the field far behind. Well, there you go. I mean, yay, America and women power. I don't. You just have to roll, said Lambe, a graduate of uh, North Carolina State who also won in 2022. There's a bit of pain, but it's just going to be temporary. Hello, EU Raiders. Welcome. We are on all the strange news and why you must definitely know it all the time. We're learning about cheese races, which I didn't know were a thing, but apparently are a thing. And as an avid fall downer, I think I could win this. Uh, Dozens of children and adults also competed in safer and slower, but no less grueling uphill versions of the race, which are traditionally held on late May national holiday. About 20 miles or 32 kilometers away in the town of Tilbury, competitors carried sack of wool weighing up to 60 pounds over a 240-yard or 220-meter course up and down Gumstall Hill. Interesting. I don't know why you would do that. Look, the things we figured out before cable, I'm pretty sure that's why they invented Russian twist, so God bless cable. Tilbury Woolsack races have been held since 1972, drawing on a local tradition dating back to the 17th century in the historic wool trading town. So there you go. Well, Taiwan may be in a little bit less of a political pinch, according to what US lawmakers are telling them. But, we seem to not be paying much attention. So, weapons are on the way, US lawmakers tell Taiwan during a visit. The bipartisan delegation, led by Representative Michael McCall, was the first group of current US officials to meet with the new Taiwanese president, Lai Chante. Look, y'all know I pick these international stories like, hey, we need some culture. And then I'm like, can't say a daggone word about anything. Weapons that Taiwan has ordered from the US are coming, a senior US lawmaker said Monday as a bipartisan House delegation met with Beijing claimed island's new president. We can only hope. Look, it's 2024. I put nothing, us finding actual Godzilla, playing hide and seek with Bigfoot. At this point, I am giving nothing. I'm taking nothing off my bingo card. Oh, he gave him a cowboy hat. Taiwan, a self-ruling democracy that rejects China's sovereignty claims and should still be called the real China. And Taiwan should be the head of the new China, but that's just my opinion. Great success, yes. So Japan has not Japan, China has been doing a large scale military games and sort of a show of force, an elephant walk, if you will, because Taiwan, uh, well, they continued to vote and they re-voted in a leader that wants to keep autonomy from the rest of China and really doesn't wants their independence, whereas China is on this, one China policy. And unfortunately, America in about the late 70s, early 80s to open up that particular front of the economy in China, you know, man, they decided who instead of only recognizing Taiwan, they started recognizing Beijing. So it's it's a hot button area. Oh, no, it's so my oldest daughter, when the new, Godzilla movie came out, she was entranced, and she was about 5, and the monsters look somewhat like cockroaches, and then they are monsters, so I had to explain to my 5-year-old that we couldn't mash those words up, while 90% of my brain was laughing my behind off silently in my head because she's like, "I hate those sea monsters. They really suck." And I was just like, "Lord, I can't be quiet. Lord, help me parent as I'm laughing." Let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. Has complained of del or so Taiwan has complained of delays in US weapons that are seen as crucial in the defense against a potential invasion by Beijing. Which has not ruled out the use of force in achieving its aims. So China is basically doing kind of the elephant walk, and now Sticks Hexenhammer, he deeply looks into these things, he's learned, and, if you want to you know, listen to wisdom as a person that knows much more than I do, I recommend him. But I think I agree with him if we kind of outsourced and took the Second Amendment to a lot of these places, I think that China would hesitate slightly to go against a fully armed to the teeth, like Texan to Spinal Tap 11 populace, if they realized every single person in Taiwan is, going to be out there doing some sort of defense. I do know that the Taiwanese do some of them do training and stuff with airsoft and, uh, like paintballing, but Styx knows a lot more, but anyway, we are supposed to be getting them weapons, so countdown to World War III continues. Hopefully, we will avoid it and everyone will just simmer the hell down. 2024 is trying to be a super extra. In things I never knew, but holy cow, she did. Uh, Apparently, Rock Hudson's wife secretly recorded his gay confession for a private investigator, a book claims. Now, Rock Hudson, the original Superman, well, he wasn't really attracted to his wife, didn't play for our team, if you will, but that was a closely guarded secret for a long time. Rock Hudson's wife had no qualms playing the role of a Hollywood wife until her closeted husband came swinging with a divorce. While it was known today that the 1950s heartthrob was gay, Universal Studios went to great lengths to protect his image, including keeping his sexuality a secret. Hudson was married to talent agent secretary Phyllis Gates from 1955 to 1958. Quote, during the marriage, she kept quiet. Author Josh Young told Fox News Digital, but it obviously affected her life. And in the end, when it was clear that he was going to leave her with nothing, I think that's when she felt she needed to do something. The Young recently teamed up with Manfred Westphal to write The Fixer Moguls, Mobsters, Movie Stars, and Maryland. It delves into the shocking revelations of notorious private detective Fred Otash based on his never before seen investigative files. I do feel sad for her. I mean, it's very hard to compete with someone who's not being honest with himself. For the book, Westphal was given access to Otash's archives with the blessing of his daughter Colleen. Westphal, who first met Colleen at Otash's funeral, developed a close friendship with her over the years. Welcome, Roxanne. Fred Otosh fought to get Phyllis Gates what she deserved in their divorce settlement when Rock was kicking her to the curb and refusing to support her, Young explained. I was surprised. It was surprising to learn what an advocate he was for women and how interesting those cases were. According to the authors, Otash was the son of Lebanese rug merchants whose life was marked by tragedy. Interesting. He lost his father and only brother during the Great Depression, prompting him to drop out of high school at age 16 to join the Civil Conservation Corps to support his mother and sisters. He went on to volunteer for the Marine Corps and at the outset of World War II fought in the South Pacific. So this is a book that might be interesting in delving into, all the different scandalous scandals. Otosh landed in Los Angeles in 1945 when he signed up for the LAPD. There, he made a name for himself as a renegade officer before launching his own detective bureau in 1955, which, thanks to his access to emerging technology eclipsed by his contemporaries, he served as a freelancer for the Los Angeles tabloid Confidential. Interesting. Quote, there are a lot of tabloid rumors about Rock Hudson at the time, said Young. Fred was a fact checker for The Confidential, which was the nastier version of The Inquirer, or a precursor to it. It was a magazine that didn't play ball with Hollywood studios and would run whatever story they could get their hands on. Early on, they had a lot of stories about Rock Hudson and his relationships with men. Young shared, a lot of those stories were traded out and killed by Rock's manager in exchange for other tabloid stories. This poor man, I mean, to have to live in a time where it's impossible for you to be yourself, I can't imagine how soul destroying that is. And I'm glad that some things have changed. I I really just like the early aughts when we were kind of getting, just like let's make things equal. Let's not be, ridiculous about things. Let's grown-ups do grown-up stuff, whatever they consent to, but just leave everyone else out of it. I feel really bad for him, unfortunately. According to the book, Gates was a wholesome farm girl and a former Sunday school teacher from Minnesota who was set up with Hudson, Hollywood agent Henry Wilston, who had already bearded his own homosexuality, becoming engaged to President Harry Truman's songstress daughter, assured that the couple was photographed all around town. In 1955, Confidential was ready to strike with an in depth story of Hudson's sexuality based on first person accounts by his former lovers. Wilson, fearing a tell all would destroy Hudson's career, cut a deal by throwing two of his other, less lucrative talents under the bus. Rock Hudson, yes. Quite famously, unfortunately, She was sold a marriage that she thought would maybe become more, and he was forced to marry someone he didn't love and couldn't be himself with, and it just leads to heartbreak for both people. Still, the magazines wondered when Hollywood's most handsome bachelor would get married. Wilson gave Hudson too much to get months to get hitched. Gates happily obliged when Hudson asked her to move in with him. 2 months later, she said, I do. A quickie PR stunt wedding was orchestrated by Wilson, and Hollywood's gossip queens were in attendance. All seemed well as Hudson skyrocketed to fame. However, his lovers reportedly kept him occupied when the camera stopped rolling. Gates, who had grown tired of her estranged husband's disregard for her physical and emotional needs, hired Hollywood lawyer Jerry Gressler to commence divorce proceedings. According to the book, Gates later became shaken to learn that her marriage, quote, was nothing more than a fanciful farce to cover up Hudson's sexuality. Oh, I feel so terrible for her. I mean, she really probably, he's an actor. So, I mean, goodness, if you had, then okay, I'm just gonna say Jared Leto before he became the Joker, or Jake Ryan. If you had Jake Ryan from 16 Candles pretending to be in love with you and he's an actor, I mean, I'm just saying young, naive Mo would have swooned and fallen deadly in love, just all I Jake Ryan's. I mean, I would just, like, to done. I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Mr. Mo's like, "Jake Ryan, would you stop bringing him up?" And I was like, "No, I am not going to stop bringing up Jake Ryan because the real guy who played him actually became a carpenter." So somewhere in this universe on this planet, a woman married Jake Ryan and he became a carpenter. And in one of many, many realities, that woman is me. So I drink to me somewhere or other finding Jake Ryan and marrying him. Ooh, uh, the book noted that Hudson was willing to grant Gates a divorce. However, he would only offer a few measly bucks, her car, and no place to live. Gates fired Gressler and brought on personal attorney Arthur Crowley, who then reached out to Otash to find any evidence of Hudson's homosexuality. Crowley planned to threaten that he would leak news to the press if Gates didn't get financially supported. She was put in the position of not being able to fend for herself, said Young. It was a case for a lot of women in those days who were dealing with powerful people in various circumstances. That wouldn't happen today, but it did happen in the 1950s. According to the book, Otash set up a sting operation. He created a script for Gates, which she used to confront Hudson. The actor was secretly recorded by Otash, the book claimed. During the sit down, Gates confronted Hudson's about a Warshot test he had taken. You told me you saw thousands of butterflies and also snakes, said Gate. A therapist told me in my analysis that butterflies could mean femininity and snakes could resemble. Oh, Warshot test. Good night, nurse. I'm not condemning you, but it seems as long as you recognize your problem, you would want to do something about it. So she's basically gonna try to get him to say something incriminatingness, and she's gonna use that to get paid. Gates also pointed out, "Your great speed with me sexually. Are you that fast with boys? Holy fazolies." Okay, the 50s were lit. I am buying this book. She's like, "Do you last longer than 30 seconds with them?" Oh my. I feel terrible for this woman. Everyone knows that you are picking up boys off the street shortly after we were married and have continued to do so, thinking that being married would cover up for you, she further accused Hudson. Quote, "I have never picked up any boys from the street," Hutchins shot back. "I've never picked up any boys in a bar, never. I have never picked up any boys other than to give them a ride." Sure, Jan. At one point, Hudson broke down to Gates, the book claimed. "I never felt we were together on anything," Hudson tearfully said to his estranged wife. "I never felt you loved me." "And is that why you never touched me?" Gates replied. "Rock, when we came back from our honeymoon, you never we never did the beast with the 2 backs for a whole month. I was always here. I always was waiting for you. At first, I'd come to bed and you'd have a book in your face. People sense these things. A man has to have a sexual outlet. The spice on this. We're gonna need to get a fan going here. I'm getting this book. Holy fazoli. Uh, a man Oh, you never picked me up and carried me to the bed. You never touched me. This poor woman. Although, okay, if someone's really good at memes, we need to change this particular photo to, I don't know, someone else. But yeah, holy, this is so sad. Hudson allegedly told Gates he had a homosexual affair the next day after they were married. "I was just a doormat for you," said Gates, "someone to hide behind." According to the book, Otash and Crowley used the transcript to pressure Hudson's team into a settlement. Hudson gave Gates their Hollywood Hill home and $250 a week for 10 years if she did not remarry, which would come to 130,000 or 1.3 million today. She was also given stock in his production company. Neither remarried. Hudson died of complications from AIDS in 1985 at the age of 59. I mean, what just a sad, sad thing for both of these people. They both went into this marriage with different objectives, and maybe she would have been okay if he had just said, "Hey, your beard, you might not know what that means. Let me tell you, we're gonna have some weird talk, but, that's just what this is." But instead, she really invested and, tried to be a good wife, and unfortunately, he just never was going to love her the way she wanted to. Quote, "I had the power to destroy rock, and I didn't use it," Gates later wrote, as quoted by the Los Angeles Times. "To have exposed his other life would have been vicious and vindictive. I faced enough trouble rebuilding my life without bearing that guilt." Before she died in 2006 at age 80, Gates told Hudson's biographer, Sarah Davidson, that she was very much in love with the actor. "I thought he would be a wonderful husband," said Gates, as quoted by People magazine. "He was charming, his career was red hot, he was gorgeous. How many women could have said no?" So that's terrible. Gotta find a happy story to end with. Well, here we go. Sometimes Times, uh, you play those numbers from the fortune cookie, or at least one woman lucked out. Fortune cookie numbers earned Virginia woman $50,000 Powerball prize. A Virginia woman used numbers from inside a fortune cookie to play Powerball and won $50,000. Tiara Barley told Virginia lottery officials that she always uses the set of numbers she copied from the slip of paper inside the fortune cookie when she plays Powerball. She bought a ticket bearing those numbers from Varna Superstore Supermarket on Darbytown Road in Henrico and scored a $50,000 prize when she matched 5 numbers. Barley said her good luck almost turned sour when she nearly left the ticket behind at the store when she left to take her daughter to the park. The player said she returned to the store and was able to retrieve her ticket with help from another customer. So there you go. A happy ending. I don't have anywhere to send you to. Thank you, all EU raiders, for coming over here. I hope you guys have a wonderful official start to your most Monday-ish Tuesday tomorrow. I will see you then. We will have more stories, more craziness, and, keep your 2024 bingo card, handy. I'm not putting anything past 2024 at this point. Have a great evening, and I will see you in the morning. Bye, guys.